Greetings, beautiful being. Sending you so much love in this now moment. Moona's Magicka here, reporting live from the I Am Presence. So this video is talking about etheric templates. This is a very interesting topic, and if you are a creator of these beautiful tools here, then you may have heard about etheric templates. Here I've got my dear brother Brian Besco, who has been an amazing teacher of mine, one of my greatest teachers along with Slim Sperling, on how to make tensor rings. When I first learned about tensor rings and was absolutely ecstatic to get into it, you type in tensor ring on YouTube or on Google, and this man right here pops up. And big love to brother Brian, and just having a moment of silence and acknowledgement for him. And so this video I have up here is actually Brian talking about the etheric templates.
I would love to be able to promote all of you to connect up to these etheric templates, to put them into the tools.
So, where do I begin? Okay, so say we're just measuring the original sacred qubit, right? Our 20.63 classic. We know we're getting to 144 megahertz. And in a sense, this is an etheric template as well, which we're anchoring into the physical to access the energy based on the length, to access that specific frequency and geometry of that 20.63 inches. So say we're making a sacred qubit ring. We're connecting to a template of sort, a etheric energy. We could also call these tools like ether antennas, right? They're antennas based on the clockwise twist, the specific cut, and then brazing the ends of the wire together. And then we've created this pillar, this column, this beam of divine light. And when Brother Slim was bringing the tools in, the sacred was the measurement he chose for a majority of his tools at the time. And then the lost qubit came in after, which is the 23.49, which is the 177 megahertz. These are etheric templates in a sense, but what I've learned from Twisted Sage here is that there's a higher way that we can connect to these tools and also bring in a energy field that not only contains the measurement frequency, so that 144, the 177, but it actually contains more than that. You can actually have several frequencies in this one energy field, or as Brother Brian Besco talks about here, the earth elementals.
galactic to bring in the ascension ring.
So there's a few parts which I'll link in this video, this specific video as well. I highly suggest tuning into it. When you are a creator of these tools and you devote a lot of your life to sharing them and learning and really understanding what's going on here, and as your consciousness ascends, you get to realize that you are a creator being, and we, being creators, we are making it all up. We're painting the picture onto the screen of consciousness, onto the blank canvas in each now moment, based on what we think and what we feel. That's just the cosmic fact. And so, staying on the topic of etheric templates, I mean, I've been contemplating this for a while, and I really, like, the universe is so simple, so when something feels like complex, it means you're like potentially overthinking it and complicating something that doesn't have to be complicated. But this is just my transmission and sharing of all of the time I've spent thinking about etheric templates. And now I've come to the point where I'm anchoring them into my energy tools, but in the way that Twisted Sage has taught me. Let me further explain. So, in this video that I suggest you watch, he talks about that there's the balance and harmony in the ascension, which is the STU, or the standard Teotihuacan unit, measurement, which is the 41.71 inch. And then we have the galactic cubit, which the etheric template for that is the ascension ring, or the ascension energy, in which Twisted Sage called it. So what I learned is that you can actually like dial in to these specific, the STU and the galactic. You can bring in not only like just cutting the measurements of the ring and having just that specific energy quality with that STU or the galactic, but you can actually connect to an etheric template through the heart space as you twist your wire, your crystal, your copper, and you can bring in this etheric template that Brian Besco has created with these tools. So we're getting into, a whole nother realm of mind, of consciousness, with the etheric templates, in the sense of how we're not only creating a STU cubit ring or a galactic cubit ring, we're calling in, as we twist the wire through the heart space, being anchored in with the intention to bring in the etheric templates that were created for these specific measurements. And there's also other qubits that have come out that I believe have etheric templates as well, like the Golden Fire, and potentially a few other ones that I'm not aware of, because it's a whole realm. But my intention of this video is just to bring some great conversation, and we learn together. So this is something that I've been really curious about, because Brian is one of my greatest teachers regarding the tensor rings, and yeah, I just think it's important to really understand why and what and how we're doing it. So for instance, I just twisted some wire here, and this is, my intent is to as I twisted it, this is going to be cut to the STU qubit length. So I knew that I was going to be utilizing that measurement. And as I was twisting the wire, I called in the higher consciousness for the highest good for who's ever around these energy tools, with the intent to call in not only that measurement of the STU qubit, but to call in the etheric template of it. Same thing I do with the galactic, which is, I believe, 24.349 inches. I think is that. But anyways, in the second version of the ebook, I'm going to talk about it, and it's quite simple at the end of the day. Is you have a clear intention. You're in the heart space. You're in a good, clean and clear state. And your energy is going into these tools. So, big time, they're very, very special in that way. So, here we'll just listen together. I'm going to put the speed on, let's say 1.5 and go back a bit, and then we'll go through a little bit of points together, and then I'll share some more.
I'd like to show you how to connect up to the etheric templates of the tools today. When we were first creating the tensor rings, we were creating more of a science-based tool, something that was a very specific measure with intentions, but yet we were still connecting up to an etheric template, which is why that you cannot just take any sacred measure and be able to create a working tensor ring out of it. It has to be created on multiple levels, and then we're just simply manifesting that here onto the physical plane. So this etheric template, specifically the ascension and the harmony.
So this is what I was talking about. There's the ascension and the balance and harmony, which is the galactic is the ascension and the STU is the balance and harmony. We're really dissecting it here because it's worth the while.
Are what I call the etheric templates that go with the galactic qubit measure and the Teotihuacan standard unit.
Sorry, TO2.
So you can cut these measures, the galactic, let's say, you can cut that measure and create a working tensor ring, but you're not going to be able to get everything that it is capable of doing.
Okay, so that ascension ring, I believe, came in with a master dowser, Marty, years ago. I don't know how long ago, but there's that specific video on Twisted Sage's YouTube as well, which I remember watching like years ago and watching them talk about it. It's so intriguing. So this galactic ascension came in a while ago. So what he's talking about here is like, you could cut it to that 24.349. Let me just triple check. I sent that measurement to a brother the other day, and then we'll continue. Where are we, my loves? I leave you in the love and the light. I am finding the way to the one holy one, and we going today. Where is the galactic? I took a picture of you the other day. Please come, you're on my phone, and here you are, 24.3594. I was right.
These etheric templates that I've created are housed, they're very well protected.
So these etheric templates that I've created, so Brother Brian's, man's creating.
They're in like this large dome inside of a pyramid. They exist on multiple dimensional levels. And it is the only way you can access these is through the sacred space of the heart.
So when you're twisting your wire, you're deep in the heart.
So that is what I would like to share with you today, is just how to access these etheric templates. And again, you can cut these measures, but they'll be just like the old measurements, like the 144 megahertz, the 177, and all those that had a measurable frequency to them. I consider more of a sterile science-based tool, where the two new qubits that we're dealing with, the harmony and the ascension, are more of a consciousness tool.
So we're getting into the realm here where Slim was following his heart, following spirit, and it was also very, at the time, we could just say like more scientific based. just to put it in words, but it's these tools are very scientific, but that word is funny these days. Metaphysics. Basically, what Brother Brian here is talking about is we can create these tools in a higher way than just specifically cutting that 20.63 and getting that 144. There's a deeper realm to all of this. Wink, wink.
Within these templates, within these actual ascension rings and harmony rings, you can find the frequencies and properties of all the earth elementals: fire, water, air, earth. You can also find the frequencies and properties of all the plant kingdom, of all the crystal kingdom, of all the mineral kingdom. The Council of Light shine through these. There are so many who have assisted in the creation of these etheric templates.
This is very important news.
And so these things are all harmonized together. They are all brought through for the highest and greatest good of the person because they work with the person's higher soul self.
Okay. That's very important. So these energetics are working with the individual of that being that has the ring. So we're getting into the realm where the energetics of, say you make that STU with the balance and harmony template, which you're creating a energetic field that is actually potentially morphing to work with the individual that now holds the ring for their greatest good, their highest soul self.
So anyway, I would love to be able to promote all of you to connect up to these etheric templates, to put them into the tools, to put them into...
And this is why I'm talking about it, because Twisted Sage is teaching us here. And now I'm just sharing the message with the Moonas Magicka community, because I have somehow taken the role of, sharing a lot of this with many other beings. So this is just me sharing where I'm at and wanting to share the good news.
The galactic, to bring in the ascension ring into the galactic Cuban major, and to bring in the balance and harmony ring into that Teotihuacan standard unit. It just makes for a much more powerful tool. And they're always being upgraded too, these etheric templates are.
So we can upgrade the templates.
They can never be tainted. They are, like I say, very well protected. So you have a one-way ticket that I'm giving you to pull in these templates through the sacred space of the heart.
One-way ticket
wire as you
to pull in the templates through the sacred space of the heart as we twist the wire.
Twisting it, because it is when the copper is being twisted that we're able to infuse all of this into the microcrystal of that copper. So again, the only requirements are that you are in your sacred space of the heart when you call in these qubits, and it is as simple as an intention, and it will happen. There are some other things that I would request and highly recommend, and that is that you are clean and clear before you do all this work. Clean and clear as in you don't have energy attachments, you don't have entities, you don't have non-beneficial soul contracts. This is all stuff that you can find for free on our YouTube videos on the twistedsage.com YouTube channel. Very simple processes just to help clear yourself. Having the Merkaba, I believe, is also a prerequisite to this, because your Merkaba field is going to assist you in the connections to all the higher realms. So please activate your Merkaba, do your clearing work, do your clearing before you pull in the etheric template into your rings, and always be in the heart space when you're doing the creating. So I appreciate that. I thank every one of you for moving this whole thing forward. I know a lot of you guys have been creating these rings for a while, and every time we create a ring, we are bringing more light onto this planet, and so I appreciate all that you do. And I did want to say too that we are going to be creating some measuring devices. They're probably just going to be either a rod or a solid steel tube that we can cut to the exact measure for you if you so choose to purchase one of these things. They're just going to be cut in our studio, and we're going to measure them up against the digiscope that we have, which measures it down to the thousandths of an inch. Because the more precise that we can get this on the physical level, the more potent this tool will be. We can have our intentions that I'm cutting this to, this 100,000ths of a centimeter, like some of these measurements are, and through your intentions, it will work, so you do not have to be to the 100,000ths of this centimeter. But the closer that we can get the physical to that of our intentions, to that of the etheric tool, the more potent our tool is going to be. Anyway, thank you all again. I appreciate you, and please go to sacredmeasures.com, where you will find those specific measurements for all the tools that we are creating. And
so right there we have it, folks, is that we now have the potential to work on a higher level of consciousness with these energy healing tools simply by our intention, being in the heart space, natural, calm state, twisting the wire up. If you're making the STU or the galactic, or as ones come, this is just the beginning of the beginning. As there is no beginning. As you're twisting the STU or the galactic, I'll leave those measurements below. You can call in the etheric template, as we just learned together. And there's one last thing that I want to share here. On Twisted Sage's website, there's some really cool info that I just want to read together here about the templates. I think it's really, really good on this note. Okay. So here we go. So this is on Twisted Sage's website. The newer Tensor rings are unlike any other of their predecessors. They are promoting a higher soul connection where the previous qubits, aka the sacred or the lost, could be considered more science-based. The older rings have a measurable frequency and are more like frequency-emitting tools, where the newer higher consciousness rings are bringing through so much more, aka what we just talked about, the STU or the galactic, or their Twisted Sage has the golden fire as well. So here, the Ascension and the Harmony contain all the frequencies and properties of the older qubit measures. So that's a pause moment. That's a big pause moment there. Let's read that again. The Ascension and the Harmony contain all the frequencies and properties of the older qubit measures. The Harmony also contains all of the galactic frequencies and properties. So this is mind-blowing. So we no longer offer the galactic ascension rings, as their etheric counterparts have not been updated since their conception. So we're dealing with some ether, big time etheric gold right here. And then the 888 series then came along and took everything even higher, while still grounding in all ways. These tools opened up a whole new paradigm for energy work. So I don't even know of the 888 series. I'm not even sure what measurement Twisted Sage is using. I'm maybe going to message him and ask him. The golden fire then came in with the highest aspects of all the previous tools, along with all that the golden fire is doing with the sacred heart, quantum mind, universal peace, and all the other healing, clearing, attuning, and activating that they do innately. So we have that STU, the galactic, which is no longer being utilized here because it does contain all the frequencies and properties of the galactic. The 888 series. So I'm gonna see what I can find out about that. That opened up a whole new paradigm for energy work. And then the golden fire, which I have experienced and I am aware of. So anyways, really, really exciting stuff. If you are a creator of these magical healing energy tools, then I hope that opened up an even further paradigm for you into eternity, and realize that we're opening up whole new doors here with these energy healing tools, and I mean Slim brought them through in like the early 90s, I believe. So it's really only been 90 to like 2025. Whoa. Okay, wait. Oh my god. 35. Wow. I'm getting old. Yeah, like 30, 35 years. So, wow. Very new, very fresh. It's only just begun. Alright, family. Well, I hope that you got something out of this video, because I did, and I'm just sharing my thoughts. Finally, I've been meaning to do this video for a while, and hopefully this was sufficient to bring some things forth. And if you want to get in touch with Brian Besco, Twisted Sage, there's a Facebook group, which if you don't know about, I suggest joining. It's the Tensor Technology Facebook group. I post on there all the time, and I love to share. I've been sharing for years on that group. And Brian's always answering questions, and he's just so kind and so loving and so grounded in the way that he answers, like so precise. And yeah, if you want to ask questions about the etheric templates, I'm sure he would be open to. I just wanted to share the video that I learned from, and I will drop it in the description below so you can listen to that one again that we just went through. But on that note, leaving you in the love and in the light of the balance and harmony dragon scale. Oh yeah, the Tensor Tech course is out. It's on the website if you want to learn there. That's available. There's a beginner and an advanced version. If you want to subscribe to the channel and support the movement of bringing this light to Earth, then that would be beautiful. There is an ebook, which I'm going to be updating soon with some new measurements and talk about the templates. And just, I wrote the ebook a year ago, so I'm going to write another one and update it. And the YouTube, if you scroll down on the YouTube, there's tons of tutorials, as you may know. And yeah, I love you. Bless your heart. I qualify my I am presence with gratitude, health, abundance for all of us.